The old saying is that April showers bring May flowers.
So that's the good part of
yes,
it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, there's a bad part too. If you can get too many showers, it can cause some pretty common but very costly problems around your home. So joining us now is home maintenance expert Jeff Menke from Gutter Helmet to talk about preventing water damage and basement flooding. Jeff, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We were both just talking about basement flooding. We've both been there growing up, and I had some flooding in my house a couple of years ago here. Turned out it was a sump pump that had died, and I didn't even know it wasn't working until it was, well, very evident.
Until you
it
had
wasn't
a
working.
flood.
Yeah.
It's a very common trend this time of year, especially with April. It's one of our rainiest months, and the ground tends to oversaturate, and when the water starts to press up against the side of the house, it's got to have a place to go, which unfortunately tends to be most people's basements.
Is there a way for people to check to find out if their sump pump is still operational?
Yeah, what I recommend is always opening up the basket every year, checking the float in there, make sure it didn't get hooked up on something, lift the float, or some people will just pour maybe like a 5-gallon pail of water in there to make the water rise. That should activate the pump, and then always make sure you check on the outside for the discharge to make sure the water's going outside of the house as well.
Okay, so Jason's problem was a sump pump, but there are a lot of other ways that you could be that person with water in the basement. I know the gutters are a big issue too.
They really are. That's usually the #1 problem. Sometimes ice in the winter will cause some sagging in the gutters so that they're not pitched correctly, or there's leaves and debris that were left over from the fall. So you want to get those cleaned out. If you don't have some kind of cover device like our gutter helmet or other types of products that will keep leaves and debris out, you got to get up on the ladder and get them free flowing so that the water will flow away from the house.
Because if the water gets stuck in the gutter, it can end up pouring into the roof.
Yeah,
backing up into the roof.
Or it'll just pour right over and it'll go into areas around the perimeter of your home where maybe you have a low spot.
Sure.
Some people have areas where you should really check for pooling as well around the perimeter of the house. If you have those types of grade issues, that should be something that should be looked at, because those are the prime areas where water will start to come in and go into the basement.
I have a lot of childhood memories, and we lived in a bunch of different houses, that I feel like every single one, there was some memory of my dad with his rain boots on in water up to like his mid-shins. What do you do if you're that person? You walk downstairs and you're like, oh no, there's water here.
Hopefully you have a sump pump and a drain tile system in your home. If you don't and you've had water in your basement, it's something you certainly want to look into getting. That's the first line defense for keeping water out of a basement. What most homeowners don't realize, though, if you do get water in your basement, those things typically are not covered by your homeowner's insurance unless you have some kind of flood insurance. So it's something that you should really be looking into.
If you're lucky, you catch it when it's damp and it's not a full-on flood situation with stuff being ruined.
Yeah, when we get several inches of rain in a given day in April, May, it's something you should really be checking on regularly.
Is this the time of year that it's the biggest problem, you would say, is coming out of the winter months, since the gutters are still kind of maybe clogged up?
Correct, or the ground is real saturated, you know, the spring thaw is coming out, and all of a sudden, you know, you get 2-3 inches in a day, like they're getting out in the eastern part of the state right now. I mean, it doesn't take much for water to start coming into the house.
All right, Jeff Menke from Gutter Helmet. Thanks for coming in, Jeff. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.